Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudinayed Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayed Sarva Vignopashantaye. We were in the 23rd shloka. We will chant that once before we start the class today. Please repeat once after me. Shloka number 23. Gurur Gurutamo Dhama Satya Satya Parakramaha Nimisho Nimishasragvi Vachaspatirudarati. So this we have seen in the previous class. This 23rd shloka of the Sahasranamam has 9 namas in all. Nama number 209 to 217, and we saw the namas 209, 10 and 11 as the last part of our previous class. Guruhu, Gurutamaha and Dhama we have already seen. So we move on with the next nama, nama number 212, Satyaha. Satyaha already occurred as the 106th nama, and it is occurring here as the 212th nama, and will occur as the 869th nama. In 106 we saw that Satya, for Satya there are 2 meanings. One is the truth, Sat eva Satyaha, the existence Satya, and the one who is in the form of the Murta Prapancha, the Sat, and the Amurta Prapancha, the Tyat. And we also referred to Taittiriya Upanishad, Satchatyacha Bhavat. Okay, so this we already saw. This was the meaning given for Satyaha in the 106th nama. Here, Satyaha in the 212th nama. Here, Bhagavan is referred to as Satyaha in the meaning as the one who is in the form of the value of speaking truth. The value of speaking truth, and the one who is the truth of all truths. Now, this value of speaking the truth, Satya Bhashanam. Okay, Satya Bhashanam is where one speaks the truth in the transaction level. There is something called Anrita Bhashanam. Anrita Bhashanam means Anritam. Okay, Anritam means where you think of something and you speak something else. Your thought and your words are not in alignment. That is called Anritam. Right? You think of, say, giving somebody some money as charity. You feel, you think you should give 2,000 rupees, and then when you pick up the money from your purse, you give 500 rupees. Right? When you tell people, or when somebody asks you to be at a place in an appointed time, you think and you really feel that you have to be there, right? So you know the importance, everything is given there, you know it, but When you speak, you say, yes, I'll definitely be there. But when you think, you are really not sure of making it at the appointed time. I don't know whether you do it, but you meaning there are people, I really wonder whether they understand the meaning of the word definite in English. But they say, definitely. The stress that they give to that word, I really wonder they understand the meaning of it, because they will definitely not make it. And that has been my experience with many people. Alright, so see, Ishvara here is in the form of the truth that is spoken in the transactional reality, Satya Bhashanam. Right? So, adherence to truth is very, very important at the transaction level. Where one is not capable of speaking the truth, not capable meaning does not take an effort to ensure that his thought, his words and his actions are in alignment. Where one person is not together, he is a split personality. You think something, you speak something and you do something, right? So where that alignment is not there in that personality, such a personality loses his qualification of attaining the truth of all the truths. Satyasya Satyam, who is Bhagavan himself. So he renders himself to be unfit for Atma Jnanam or the knowledge of Ishvara. Therefore, Satyaha, the 212th Nama. 213th Nama is Satya Parakramaha. Satya Parakramaha. The actions that we do have two components in it. One is the physical action that we perform, and the other is the intention that it is backed by. The attitude or the intention that we carry, which the action is backed by. The action that is seen outside is grossly evident outside, whereas the intention is invisible, right? The action that is performed leads to visible results. The action that is visible, the visible part of the action leads to visible results, and the invisible part of the action, which is the intention, which is born in the mind, leads to the invisible result, which is punya and papa. This punya and papa that accrues as one performs every action, they fructify as favorable and unfavorable situations for every person, for that particular person. So Bhagavan, here he is called Satya Parakramaha, meaning there is no obstacle that he cannot cross. He can make you cross over every obstacle. The papa which is there in one's account fructifies as unfavorables, which come by way of obstacles in one's any endeavor that he takes up. Anything that he takes up, any roadblock that comes, is nothing but the fructification of the papam in one's own account. Now, to cross over those obstacles and to ensure that one attains the intended goal, Bhagavan is there to help you cross over every obstacle, and there is nothing that Bhagavan cannot help you cross over. You know, there is this beautiful story which I have read long time back. One of the stories that I have always liked. There was a man who had led his life completely. He was a very devoted person, and at the end of his life, after he was dead, this is a little bit of imagination is added to the story where he travels after death and he meets God. When he meets God, so he already had a lot of questions with him which he wanted to ask God when he meets him after his death. So when he met him, God said, I was just waiting for you. You have come. Wonderful. And he says, I had been struggling in my life and you were never there with me. Where did you go? And you are telling as though I had come late and you had been waiting for me and you are waiting to see me. But all along I had been waiting for you. In all those periods, I struggled in my life. In all the pains that I suffered, where were you? Bhagavan said, just turn around and see the paths that you walked in your life. His entire life was depicted as footsteps. And right from the beginning, right from childhood, he had his Ishtadevata and he was always devoted to his Ishtadevata. And right from his childhood, he could see there were two sets of footprints all through. And there were some stages in his life, in his lifeline, where he could see only one set of footprint. The other set was missing. And when he recalled from his timeline, he saw that, or he could recall that those were the times when he actually suffered a lot in life. So he said, I assume that the two sets of footprints, one is yours and one is mine. And there are times when the second set is not there. Only one set is there. See, I told you, when I suffered, you were not there. Where did you go? Bhagavan said, that one set of footprint that you see during all the time that you suffered is not yours. It is mine. Because I carried you all along. So your footprints are not there and what you see is only mine. Therefore, Bhagavan, see, this is a wonderful story to tell you that Bhagavan is always there with you in all those hard and difficult times. And he is the one who helps you cross over. And whom does Bhagavan help? Bhagavan helps those people who are always dedicated and devoted to him. Ananyas chittayanto mam ye jana paryupasate desham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. He says this in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we will see this as the concluding part of Vishnu Sahasranamam as well. So I don't want to jump into giving a detailed explanation for this shloka. For the benefit of all, for those people who are always in the Chintana of Ishvara, who always carry Ishvara in their mind. And for those people, Bhagavan says, I take care of your yogaha and kshemaha. Yogaha means all the actions that you have to do and all the results that you get, right? So I take care of your well-being. Your arthakama is taken care of by me. So you don't have to worry. And you can just keep doing what you have to do, bearing me in your mind. And the attitude that you have, the bhavana that you need to have towards the action, the people around you and the environment around you. So this is very important. Bhagavan is Satya Parakramaha. Therefore, don't get bogged down by situations or all those difficult times in your life. Don't let your mind dip low. Bhagavan is there to help you cross over any obstacle in life. 214th and 15th Nama can be seen together. Nimishaha, Animishaha. Nimishaha means the one who closes his eyes. And Animishaha means the one with eyes open. Okay? Closing eyes. Bhagavan is called Nimishaha, one with eyes closed, which denotes the Pralaya Kala. As if he, closes eyes, meaning he withdraws the entire Srishti into himself. Okay? animishaha, with eyes opened. This denotes Nitya Prabuddha Swarupaha. He is ever awake. Okay? Ever awake, that does not close the eyes, like a fish. Okay? In Matsya Avatara, this also denotes Bhagavan's Matsya Avatara, where the fish doesn't close its eyes at all. Right? It's always eyes are open. Therefore, he is called Animishaha in Matsya Avatara, because he is the ever shining consciousness principle. He is Nitya Prabuddha Swarupaha. Also, there is another meaning. Nimishaha also refers to a unit of time. Right? Therefore, when Bhagavan is called Nimishaha, he is time itself. He is also called Animishaha, meaning one who is not bound by time. Therefore, Bhagavan is time, and Bhagavan is the one who is not bound by time. Reading both together, we can say there is no time without Ishvara. 216th Nama, Siragvi. Siragvi means one who is wearing the Vaijayanti Mala. This Vaijayanti Mala is said to be a mala that is made up of the Panchabhutas in their Tanmatra. Tanmatra meaning in their purest subtle form. That is before the Panchikarana or the grossing up happens. Our scriptures reveal that the Panchabhutas that we experience in this world are the gross Panchabhutas which came into being after or as a result of the grossing up of the subtle elements. There is a ratio which the Shastram tells where a portion of every element was combined to make the Akasha that we experience, the Vayu that we experience, the Agni, the Jala, the Prithvi, everything that we experience. Where the ratio of one particular element is more, that is denoted in the gross form. So in the gross Akasha, the ratio of the subtle Akasha is more and the other elements are less. I don't want to get into those details because we will be losing time for this itself. Alright, so this, just understand that Vaijayanti Mala is made up of all the 5 elements, a mala that is made up of the 5 elements in its subtle form, Tanmatra. And some of the texts say that the flowers in this Vaijayanti Mala are the gross elements, the gross 5 elements, Panchabhutas, and the fragrance of the flower are the subtle 5 elements. So, there are texts that describe the Vaijayanti Mala. The entire, this goes to say that the entire universe is the body of Ishvara, where all these 5 elements are ordained in his body. They become the ornament of the mala in his body. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Siragavi. 217th Nama, Vachaspati Rudaradhihi. This is one Nama. And this contains 2 words, Vachaspatihi and Rudaradhihi. Vachaspatihi means the Lord of speech, Vachas or knowledge. The Lord of Vak, Vachaspatihi. Udharadihi. Dihi refers to the intellect and Udharadihi, Udhara means one who has an exalted intellect or exalted knowledge. Therefore, these 2 words combined together is understood as Bhagavan is the protector of all knowledges and the one who has such a great intellect that he can comprehend all knowledges. And traditionally, these two words are taken together as one nama. You don't have two namas here. It is taken together, it is read together as one single nama, Vachaspati Rudharadihi. That completes shloka number 23, and we will move on to shloka number 24. Please repeat once after me. Agranir Gramani Shriman
Agranir Gramani Shriman
Nyayo Neta Samiranaha
Nyayo Neta Samiranaha
Sahasramurdha Vishwatma
Sahasramurdha Vishwatma
Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat.
Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat.
This 24th shloka has 10 namas, from 218th nama to 227th nama. 218. Agranihi. Agranihi. Shankara says, Agram prakrishtam padam nayati mumukshun iti agranihi. Agram prakrishtam padam nayati mumukshun iti agranihi. That which is the foremost, the highest, or the most important is called agram. And that end, the padam, that which is the foremost, the greatest, the highest, the most important end, that which when achieved, there is no further end to be achieved. There is nothing further left to be achieved. This is what Yudhishthira asked. Kimekam daivatam loke kimvapyekam parayanam. So we should recall the question, right? We shouldn't forget that Acharya is giving the answer to Yudhishthira's question. And where one achieves such an end, gaining which there is nothing more to gain, such a person is said to be Kritakrityaha, the one who has accomplished whatever has to be accomplished. He is said to gain a sense of fulfillment, wherein there is nothing more to achieve or to accomplish. Completeness. Now this Agrapadam is moksha. And one should remember that moksha does not just happen by itself. It is not that I keep worshipping Ishvara and one day I get moksha. It doesn't happen by itself. One has to choose moksha. One has to be a mumuksha. Moktum icha mumuksha. One has to desire to be free from samsara. One must understand that he is in a problem and he seeks freedom from the problem. And such a person who seeks freedom, permanent freedom, such a person is called mumuksha. And this person understands that freedom or moksha does not happen by itself and it is attained through knowledge. Therefore, his desire for freedom matures as a desire for knowledge. Where one's desire for freedom matures as a desire for knowledge, because he understands that only through knowledge he attains freedom. Such a person is called jignasu, or the icha that he has is called jignasa, desire to know. Therefore, moksha icha now matures as jnana ichha. And then further he comes to know that this jnanam has to be gained through the study of Shastram. Therefore now this jnana ichha becomes Shastra ichha. And then he also understands that the study of Shastram cannot be made by studying books at home. There cannot be a self-study that can give this knowledge, and that one needs a teacher, a Sampradaya Acharya who can help in unfolding the words of the Shastra. Therefore, this Shastra Ichha becomes Guru Ichha. And in our tradition, Guru and Shastram are always taken together. Shastram will not function as Shastram without Guru, and a Guru is not a Guru without Shastram. Therefore, Guru and Shastram are always taken together. And for Guru and Shastram to function, one has to have the desire to know, which should be born out of a desire to become free. Right? I'm just tracing back. And this desire to become free would be born out of the understanding of the bondage that one is given to. Where one does not even understand samsara, where one does not understands or one has not diagnosed his disease, where is the question of going to a doctor and getting the treatment done, right? He doesn't even understand that he is in a disease, he is in a problem which has to be treated, right? Therefore, understanding of samsara is very important. There is a subhashitam in Sanskritam that says, Yasya nasti swayam prajna shastram tasya karoti kim lochanabhyam vihinasya darpanaha kim karishyati. Where one has not understood his problem of samsara, he does not have swayam prajna, he hasn't understood where he is. Shastram tasya karoti kim. What can Shastram do? Even hours of classes will mean nothing to that person. He will only be laughing for the jokes that are cracked by the teacher, and would be finding, some faults with the teacher. How many times the teacher looked up and down? How many times the teacher was, adjusting the dress or adjusting the mic? All these things, right? All these things will be important. So, and further the Subhashitam says, it's giving a comparison. It says, Lochanabhyam vihinasya darpanaha kim karishyati. It is like what a mirror can do to a blind person. A person who does not have eyes. Mirror is of no use. One who has not understood the problem of samsara, Shastram is of no use to that person. Therefore, Shastram also goes one step further. In one particular place, it says, if the thinking faculty that one is gifted with, the buddhi that one is gifted with, is not used to attain Atma Jnanam, Shastram says it is like committing suicide. It is Atma Hanaha. Therefore, one needs to know the solution and also the means to get the solution to his problem of samsara. This ability to decipher or diagnose the problem of samsara, for this and to find the means, the solution for it, cannot happen without the grace of Ishvara. It is not possible without the grace of Ishvara. Doesn't mean that I don't take any effort, that only Ishvara will do it for me. No. One has to take effort, and it also requires the grace of Ishvara. Therefore, Mumukshun Agram Padam Nayati iti Agrani. He is the highest and the foremost and the most important goal, the most desirable goal. Agranihi. Next, 219th Nama, Gramanihi. Gramanihi simply means the leader of all beings. Shankara says, Bhuta Gramasya Netritvat Gramanihi. Now, this word Grama means Samuha or a group. Grama does not mean village, it just means a group. And when you say Bhuta, Bhuta in Sanskritam can refer to all beings. It can also mean the elements of nature. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi. This is also Bhuta. Therefore, the one who is the Lord of all the Panchabhutas and the one who is the Lord of all the faculties. Okay, Indriya Samuhaha, that is also Bhuta Grama. Therefore, the one who is the Lord of all my senses, which are presided over by Devata. Right? Therefore, he is the leader or the boss of all the Devatas, the Lord of all the Devatas, the Ishvara of all the Devatas, Parameshwaraha. Therefore, he is called Gramanihi. Next, 220th Nama, Shriman. Shriman occurs totally for 4 times in Vishnu Sahasranamam. Okay? This already occurred as the 22nd Nama and also as the 178th Nama. We have already seen this Nama twice and this is the 3rd occurrence in the 220th Nama. And this will also occur for one more time as the 613th Nama. 22, 178, 220 and 613. All with different derivations and therefore different meaning. Therefore there is no Pudarukti. This is what Shankara wants to establish. Because if there is a dosha in the text, then the text will be rendered unfit for studies. Therefore it is important on the part of the commentator to say that there is no dosha in the text and that it is fit for study. In the 22nd, as the 22nd Nama, we saw that Shriman means the one who has Lakshmi Devi in his Vakshasthala. In the 178th Nama, we saw that Shriman means the one who is the Lord of all the wealth and prosperity. Here, as the 220th Nama, Shankara says, Shrihi Kantihi. Shri meaning Kantihi Sarva Atishayitha Asyeti Shriman. Meaning the one who is Kanti, one who has radiance, the one who has Shri is Shriman. Shri meaning Kanti or radiance, the one who is endowed with radiance, the ever shining principle. Chaitanya Swarupaha Ityartaha. That is the 220th Nama, Shriman. 221st Nama, Nyayaha. Nyaya means reasoning, the one who is in the form of reasoning. Shankara says, Pramananugrahako Vedakarakaha Tarkaha Nyayaha. We just saw that Nyaya means reasoning. Now we are at the 221st Nama and we know that there are in all 1000 Namas that we are giving our efforts to study and understand. Right? All these Namas the various names of the Lord are unfolded with the help of reasoning only. To understand the Nama, one uses reasoning. Now in Shastram, where Shastram is revealing the ultimate truth, we cannot do without our stock examples. Right? We have the pot, then we have the gold, we use the furniture, wood, everything. We generally, stick to the stock examples because it is very important as part of Sampradaya to retain the examples. One can always use other examples as well, but one cannot miss out on these examples. Now, when these examples are given by Shastram, the examples are given to help one reason out and to understand the revelation of Shastram. Now, when we talk of the jewelry, jewelry, we say gold jewelry, gold chain, gold bangle, gold ring, anything you can add. Okay. So now the question that is asked to the student is, when we say gold bangle, for all the English grammar that you know, which is the noun and which is the adjective? In English, with the help of English grammar, one would say bangle is the noun and this bangle is a gold bangle. Therefore, gold is the adjective. Therefore, the assumption that is made is bangle is the substance and gold is the attribute. Right? This is the assumption that is generally made, and that is how we have all understood it to be until we came to Vedanta. Right? Now, the next question is, now tell me of the two, gold and the bangle, which one has weights? Do you weigh gold or do you weigh the bangle? Say you take 10 grams of gold and you make this bangle. Is the weight attributed to the gold or is the weight attributed to the bangle? Right? Naturally, your reasoning faculty is triggered and you would say the weight is attributed to the bangle and not to the gold. Now the next question that will be asked is, therefore, you take any ornament, whether chain or bangle or gold or udyanam or chutti or whatever, okay, whatever ornament you know. So the next question that is asked is, therefore, you say the weight belongs to the gold and not to the bangle. What about the bangle? Bangle by itself does not have a weight. Now you say there are two things, okay, gold and bangle, and the weight belongs to the gold and nothing to the bangle. Okay, 10 grams in the column of gold and 0 in the column of bangle. Now tell me which is the substance. Is gold the substance or is bangle the substance? Now the student thinks and he says, I understand that gold is the substance and there is no substance called bangle. Okay? There are no two things here, though we use two names. We say gold, we say bangle. But what is there is only gold, and bangle is the weightless nama rupa. The weight is attributed only to the substance called gold. Therefore, now, what can be the noun? That which is the substance or that which is not the substance? Now the student rethinks and he comes back and he says, no, only gold can be the substance. Gold is the substance. Therefore, gold only can be the noun and bangle has to be the attribute. Because now it is in the form of a bangle. Then when you heat it up, you melt it, you can make it into a form of a chain, you can make it into a form of a earring, you can keep making it, right? So the name and form keeps changing while the substance, the 10 gram, assuming no making charge, making weight and normal loss, okay? And the weight remains as 10 grams. Therefore, the substance is gold and the attribute is the name and form, bangle, chain, earring, etc., etc., etc. Therefore, this gold is the noun and this is bangly gold or chainy gold or earringy gold. Okay, meaning that one, the other one, so long that which I thought is the noun, that which I called as the noun, is actually not the substance at all, but is the attribute of the gold. Teacher says, very good. Now I'll ask you another question. Are you telling me that this bangle, the Nama Rupa, is the attribute of the gold itself? Because if you say so, then wherever there is gold, you should say bangle. Right? If that is the attribute of the gold. Therefore, the student thinks and he comes back and he says, no, I understand that they are the attributes of the gold, but they are not the intrinsic attributes of the gold. They are just the incidental attribute of the gold. Because it can change. What is bangle today can become something else tomorrow. Right? Therefore, these Nama Rupas are not intrinsic attribute of the gold, but are superimposed on the gold. Okay. Now, why are we seeing all this? Now, we are seeing all this because where the Upanishad says, Nehana Nasti Kinchana, Kathopanishad says this, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, you see this phrase appearing. Okay. So, with this example, what is revealed to the student is that this gold, which is in the form of the bangle, which is called the chain, the ring, the earring, and any ornament that you can think of, we can say that gold is the Atma of every ornament. Right? Gold is the self. Atma meaning self. Right? Gold is the Atma of every ornament. And what finally exists? Out of one big rock of gold, say you make 1000 ornaments. Okay? What exists? So how many are there totally? How many are there? You say 1000 ornaments plus 1 gold. So 1001. Can you count that way? You cannot count. Right? What exists is only one substance, which is gold. The other 1000 are only Nama Rupa and they do not have a reality of their own apart from the gold that they are. When Shastra is talking of Purnam Adaha, Purnam Idam, Brahman, which is Purnam. It was Purnam before this manifestation happened. It is Purnam even when this earth is manifest, this Jagat, this world is manifest, and it continues to be Purnam even after the resolution of Jagat. This Nama Rupa, all the Nama Rupas that one experiences, like the bangle, chain, ring, earring, etc., are only names and forms and they do not add up to the substance. The substance of this entire Jagat being Brahman, all the plurality that you experience cannot add up to Brahman. Therefore, there is Nehana na asti. There is no plurality. And this method where one uses reasoning to understand or to unfold the Shastra Vakya is called Shruti Anukula Nyayaha. Shruti Anukula Nyayaha or Pramana Anugrahaka Tarkaha. Pramana Anugrahaka Tarkaha. is the reasoning that is conducive to understand what Shruti Pramana is revealing. Shankara says also, Nyayaha is Vedakaraka Tarkaha. Vedakaraka Tarkaha means a reasoning which shows the difference between proper and improper reasoning. The reasoning itself, where one goes through the process of reasoning, it shows the difference between what is the right way to reason out and what is not the right way or the improper way. Bhagavan, who is the reasoning itself, in the form of one's buddhi, proper reasoning in the buddhi, he helps you to understand the Shastra Pramana, which reveals the truth of what? Who you are. So he is the one who is the very reasoning itself, who helps me in the understanding process. Therefore he is Nyayaha. 222nd Nama, Neta. Neta, Shankara says, Jagat Yantra Nirvahakaha Neta. Jagat Yantra Nirvahakaha Neta. Now, Bhagavan is the leader of this Jagat. He is the maintenance in charge. Okay, he is the person who is in charge of maintaining this entire whole big machinery called Jagat. And this machinery called Jagat, it works in perfect order. And it has been continuously functioning. There is no malfunctioning that has happened. Never it will happen. And there is no need of, any outage. Any shutdown, maintenance shutdown requirements are not there. I don't know how it is in the US. One day maintenance power shutdowns are very common here in India. Because the power plants, the electricity board needs that time to check everything and ensure that the machinery all runs properly, the system runs properly. So they need a day for maintenance shutdown. So they will shut down power from 9 a.m. up to 5 p.m. in the evening. What if Bhagavan needs that maintenance time and he shuts down? Okay, you will have no Surya Devata, no Chandra Devata, no Vayu, no oxygen, no Agni, no Jala, nothing. Okay, why? Maintenance shutdown. What will happen? Not even a second can this Vrishti survive, right? So he is Neta. He is the one who manages this entire machinery, who is running so perfectly, right? 223. Samiranaha. Samiranaha, Shankara says, Shvasana Rupena Bhutani Cheshtayatiti Samiranaha. So beautiful. Samiranaha, meaning that which induces action. Bhagavan is the one who is inducing activity in every being. And in what form does he induce this activity? For anything to run, it needs power, right? This mic is connected to a power wire. That's how this functions. And the iPad in front of me has an inbuilt battery which has power, and that's how it functions. Now, what is the backup which makes every being active, perform activity that activates every being in this Jagat? Pranaha. Bhagavan is in the form of the breath, and in the form of prana, he activates every being. That Bhutani Cheshtayati, they perform actions, they are active and they keep doing all functions. So he is the one who activates all beings in the form of Vayu, Vayu manifesting in every Shariram as Prana Tattva, as Prana and Apana. Okay, Prana is Prag-gamanavan Vayu. Sorry, Prag-gamanavan. Yeah. Prag-gamanavan means the air that moves upwards. Meaning your exhalation is called Prana. And Apana means Adho-gamanavan Vayu. That Vayu that moves from your nostrils until the excretion point. You know, this Prana. The inhalation Prana is called Apana and the exhalation Prana is called Prana. Both together form the life principle. Do you ever know that for the last 55 minutes from the time you started this class, you had been breathing and you had been breathing even before that? I mean, you know it, but were you aware of it? It is such an involuntary action that most of the time we don't even take cognizance that we are breathing, right? And Bhagavan has intentionally kept it involuntary. Thank God he kept it involuntary. Because had it been voluntary, we have this beautiful faculty of forgetfulness. And once people forget to breathe in and breathe out, they will fall dead, right? Therefore, Bhagavan keeps it in his control, and this is an involuntary action that keeps happening. Veda praises Bhagavan, who is in the form of prana, who activates all the living beings. In Taittiriya Upanishad Shikshavalli, the Shanti Pata says, Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. So the student, Taittiriya student says, I have heard of Brahman, which is the ultimate reality, but I have not seen it. I see you, Brahman, who is in the form of Prana Tattva. You are Pratyaksham Brahma, because you are the one because of whom life exists. Right? So you make every life possible, you sustain everything, and you are that invisible string. Can you just visualize that every being around you, right from a small blade of grass, small ants, the microbes that are there in your body, outside, in the food that you eat, and everywhere, everything is breathing. They are alive because they are breathing. Right? So, Bhagavan, as the Sutratma, he is called the Sutratma because in the form of prana, he is that invisible string that, runs through all these living beings and activates them, and they are active and functioning. In English you say they are alive and kicking, right? Therefore, he is Samiranaha and he makes every being alive and active. 224. Sahasramurdha. Shankara says, Sahasrani Murdhanaha Asyeti Sahasramurdha. The one who has Sahasra head, 1,000 heads. Here, Sahasra does not simply literally mean 1,000, it means countless. One with countless heads. All the heads are the heads of Ishvara. 225. Vishwatma. Vishwatma. Vishwasya Atma, Vishwatma. The one who is the truth of this universe. Vishwam is the first nama that we saw. And there we saw that Vishwam means Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam. The one that is cognized in various ways. Because it is cognized in various ways, it is called Vishwam. And all the objects that are cognized in those various ways are existent. They are asti. And I say this because they are shining and they are revealed to me. Right? I am aware of them. Bhati. They shine. Therefore, everything in this Jagat is asti bhati, asti bhati, asti bhati. Chair asti bhati, desk asti bhati, mic asti bhati. Every person I see, every object that I see experience is asti bhati. And this asti bhati is common to all objects that are experienced. And every object that is experienced has a nama rupa. While asti bhati is common across all objects that are experienced, the nama rupa is not common. The nama rupa differs from object to object. And because there is a variety in this nama rupa alone, it is called Vishwam, Vivida Pratyaya Ganyam. And these nama rupas exist because of that one principle that is lending asti, right? Lending existence. Asti and bhati is lend. That is why these all nama rupas are existing. That principle that lends existence and consciousness to everything is called Atma. And that is Ishvara. The Atma of Vishwaha. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Vishwatma, Parameshwaraha. 226 is Sahasrakshaha. Shankara says, Sahasrani Akshini Yasya Saha Sahasrakshaha. Akshi literally means eyes. It represents all the sense organs. Therefore, the one with countless sense organs. This we can read with the 224th nama. 224, 226 and 227 are one group. Sahasra Murdha, Sahasrakshaha, and 227 is Sahasrapat. Shankara says Sahasrani Pada Asyeti Sahasrapat. The one with countless feet. One can instantly connect this with Purusha Sukta. Sahasra Shirshaha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. The one who has countless heads, countless sense organs and countless feet. Which means all the heads that I see and experience, not just human heads. Okay? All beings, heads of all beings are the heads of Ishvara. The sense organs of everything are the sense organs of Ishvara. The feet, all the feet are the feet of Ishvara. You know, I can recall the national song which was once a very, very big sensation in our Bharatam. It was Vande Mataram. It was written by the great Shri Bankim-Chandra Chatterjee of Bengal, and in the 1800s it was such a great revolution that was made. It was initially written for the people of Bengal, and it was a song for the Bengal, right? The undivided Bengal. It said Saptakoti Kanta Karakara Ninada Karale. And then when it became a national movement, when Vande Mataram became the national movement against the British, the words were rewritten as Koti Koti Kanta Karakara Ninada Karale, Koti Koti Mujhair Dirkadar Karuvale. So, Bharata Mata, Devi, was visualized in the form of Vishwarupa. Mata, where one whose throat is so many throats, countless throats, Koti Koti Kanta, Koti Koti Mujaihi. Therefore, the very national anthem that was envisioned for Bharatam was itself a Vishwarupa Upasana. And this is such a beautiful national anthem where it says, Tumi Vidya, Tumi Dharma, Tumi Hriday, Tumi Marma, Tvam Hi Prana Sharire. I hope you can at least make out the meanings, right, with these words. Bahude Tumi Ma Shakti, Hridaye Tumi Ma Bhakti. Tomarai Pratima Gadi Mandire Mandire. It is you who is worshipped in every Pratima, in every temple. So you who is the Chaitanya Swarupa, who is the Vishwatma, is worshipped in every form. Right? So it's such a beautiful prayer which was envisioned as the national anthem, and unfortunately is not the national anthem today, but which is fit to be the national anthem of not just Bharat. I think if this can be very well translated in French, it can even be taken as the national anthem of France. Right? It can, why not? Right? So, such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful culture that the very beginning is Vishnu Rupa Upasana, where you don't see Veda between one and the other, right? So, so long we have been living in a world of Veda difference, where I see myself different from the rest of the world. This Vishnu Sahasranamam breaks this myth of division in the mind. There is no division. Nehana na asti kinchana. We will catch up with the rest of the namas in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So the next class will be in our regular time, which is Sunday evening in US and Monday morning in India. Hari Om.